Haló na slovíčko. Pojďme si popovídat o našich tělech a pocitech. O tom, co nás posiluje a co nám prospívá. Mluvme o ženském zdraví. DM, zde jsem člověkem, zde nakupuji. Získejte 200 extra bodů za váš první nákup se Scan & Go za 200 korun a více.
Mattoni už není, doplň minerály. Mattoni už není, doplň minerály.
Jako vždycky?
Mattonizováno.
Vaše tělo se žádá vyvážené minerály. Mattoni je dodá každý den. Mattoni je život.
Kdyby si auta mohla sama vybrat, tankovala by kvalitní paliva Orlen. Následujte kvalitu. Orlen. Společně na cestě vpřed.
race is also part of Euro Heroes Challenge. This is a project by RunCzech in cooperation with European Athletics, aiming to identity, support and promote European running talents. So in Olomouc, several top runners in the current Euro Heroes standing will be on the start line. For example, Kaličko from the Netherlands or Patrick Weber, the Czech national champion. Pokud se podíváme na Euro Heroes Challenge, tenhle ten projekt, který dává hezky na odiv a prezentace těm nejlepším evropským běžcům, tak několika z těch, kterým se dařilo u běhu letošní sezóny, máme také na startu a ty si budeme zároveň také představovat tak, abychom...
So it's a warm welcome to the 2025 Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc here, the 15th edition of this fantastic event. Sold out with 7,500 entries across the 5K and half marathon distance, with a further 3,500 in the family and Bambino run. This is the third race in the Euro Heroes series, another high quality event from the RunCzech team. I'm James C. I'm delighted to take you through what is going to be an action-packed evening in this historic, wonderful city. And we have the action starting in around about 12 minutes with our half marathon runners, and expect the sparks to fly. It is a warm evening here in the streets that will show us who becomes the heroes of this Euro series, as the course itself takes them around some of the historic parts of the Old Town Barracks. The building was part of the Olomouc fortress and used for the military purposes. And then that 5K just after the Bavarian University of Olomouc. And the railway is a point that will be about 4.5K and 8K. One of my favourite places. 8.5K will be the beer and cheer station. Then 10K towards the Andros station. The team took 5th place in the Czech Football League this year, and also the Cup winners. So then heading towards the 16 kilometres towards the beautiful park, 16K, wonderful shopping district. And in that course, they'll be crossing the Banana River 6 times, doubling back, getting loads of cheers out on the course towards the historic finishing line. And there will be a party atmosphere on into the evening. The race starts local time at 7 o'clock in the evening. So we anticipate and our elite women to be just over the hour mark. But for the masses out there, for the huge numbers sold out, 6,000 runners, almost 7,000 runners in the half marathon distance. Some of them are going to be enjoying themselves into the evening. This is a World Athletics road race labeled event. That is the strength of RunCzech. And as we go through the strength of RunCzech, we go through the strength of the elite women's field. You can see the likes of Deborah Schobern, the German athlete with the fastest personal best in the field, 69 minutes and 41 seconds set in Seville a couple of years ago. Look out for Maxelle Sola. She's been a hugely consistent athlete in the Euro Heroes series, 2nd place. And wouldn't she love to go 1 place higher? 1 place higher was where Szabo was in the first race. Kalavari taking the top spot, 3rd place in the last race in Česká Budějovice. But again, an athlete that tops the Euro Heroes series. That is the athlete from Hungary, the athlete that we expect to be up there today, Nora Szabo, as well as the packed strength of the elite men's field as well. Chasing what will be fast times, but more importantly, just making sure that they put some good times on the board. Some of those athletes, they know they've got to complete the next 2 races in the Euro Heroes series. It's 2 races with the fastest times through those performances that will score points. There's the elite men's field, the fastest man in the field, Podoronsky. We saw him in the last edition of the race, his 60-40 from 5 years ago from the World Half Marathon Championship. Mosheman, he's the fastest man this year in 2025 in the field. Expect the athlete that's finished top 10 in London Marathon, and he's been a consistent performer at so many different road races. Look out for the German athlete. Again, RunCzech have done such a great job to have such a depth of different European athletes. And you can see also the quality of the home athletes as well. Pomerek there, just one of the athletes that will be vying for the top 3 places. They always reward the top 3 Czech athletes who cross the line, men and women. We'll see that into the later production of the awards. But it is the top 3 men and women across the line in the elite race, and then the top 3 Czech athletes across the line. There is lots to play for. You can see the crowd is building. They've had a fun day of events. The 5K was busy earlier today with almost 1,000 runners, and as well as the family race, the Bambino race. That's always one of my favorite, with so many opportunities for the younger age groups to get involved. But we are less than 10 minutes, so we are around about 8 minutes away from the start of what is a hugely anticipated race today, the Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc, and it is the half marathon distance, the classic half marathon distance. But we will take an opportunity to go through 10 of the athletes to look out for, just 10 of our elites that we will showcase the crowd and also yourselves. Wherever you're joining us this evening, welcome. It's a fantastic evening. What an evening of running. There's so much going on around Europe, around the world at the moment in relation to track and field, road running. We are in an absolute buzz time for the sport. And I will tell you what, the RunCzech team do a great job at showcasing these races. This is the third in the series of the Euro Heroes series, the third in almost couple of successive weekends. It feels like the weeks are flying by, but the last of the series, that will be the Universidad Labrum. That will take place on the 20th of September. But tonight, it's all about Olomouc. It's all about the half marathon. And for some of these athletes, it's a nervous last bit of wait in the shade. 26 degrees was the weather today. So on the warm side, but you can see the first of our athletes to get introduced, one of our local athletes, a Czech athlete, Martin Zadek. He's an 8-time national champion, 48th in the European Road Running Championships here at MIT there in Belgium. That there was more to give, so he would love to show that tonight. You can see almost clear skies here in the 6th largest city in the Czech Republic. But the local athletes, as we've seen already in the series, get a huge support. Maricel Sola, the athlete who I said has been second in the first 2 races in the series, 24th in the Paris Olympic Games. So a quality athlete internationally, and she knows how to podium here. But when you finish twice second place, there's only one place you're aiming for, and that's top spot on the podium. Then we've got Johannes Moschermann, the German who I mentioned, 25th in the World Marathon Championships in 2023 in Budapest. As I said, top 10 finisher at London Marathon in 2024. And when you're hot off the press, 61:03 from Houston earlier this year. So we've got someone that has a great pedigree, championship marathon. But I tell you what, he's a great half marathon runner as well. So Nora Szabo, the Hungarian 5-time national champion. She is defending champion here, 72:44 12 months ago. So consistent, and an athlete that I tell you what deals with the heat well as well. So look out for Szabo tonight. Then the next athlete up, it's the Belgium athlete Khaled Choug, who's a Olympian himself, a winner 2 weeks ago in the superb Česká Budějovice half marathon. So when you're coming off a win 2 weeks ago, look out for him. He's a very consistent performer and an athlete that, again, knows where to put himself. So I should correct myself. The Netherlands, a bit close to Belgium, but I shouldn't take away the orange singlet, remember, doesn't hide his country colours. So Deborah Schobon is another German Olympian, European top 10 finisher previously, fastest in the field, as I said earlier, from that 69:41 in Seville. And again, someone that we expect to be right to the fore, as is Dorian Bullevin. He's the Belgium athlete, 9th in the European Road Running Championships in the marathon on home soil, and also ran an impressive 23rd place in Rome in the European Half Marathon Championships last year. That was warmish that day, so knows how to perform. Maria Mazarenko, so 5th in those European Road Running Championships as well, winner in Česká Budějovice 2 weeks ago. So she is in hot form, and I expect her, she dealt with the hot conditions that night very well, as did this man, Patrick Weber, a national champion currently over 5K and the half marathon distance. Podium 2 weeks ago, and he will get a load of support. Look out for Weber on the streets tonight. He'll be someone to look out for, as will this athlete that will get loads of support. 2-time Olympian, 25th in that Olympic marathon in Paris, just one place behind Sola. She's a previous winner of the Euro Heroes Series. Second here 12 months ago, the 10K national record holder. That is Teresa Horachova. And I tell you what, again, I don't think there's an athlete that will get a louder, larger, and more appreciative reception. And again, having finished second here 12 months ago, helped secure more points, but she will want to go one spot higher 12 months later. But it will be about navigating the early part of the course. It'll be navigating the early parts in relation to the conditions. And I think, again, it's about being smart out there on the course. This is a course that's seen the likes of Mattoni run 66 minutes and 38 seconds. And I think Joseph Kipnis was also an athlete that ran 60-21 previously. So we know it's a very, very fast course if the stars align with our runners. But anticipating some competitive running out there, as you can see, the masses getting themselves ready on the start line. And there'll be some anticipation here in the main square. So Holly Navasesa is the name of the main square here in Olomouc. And it's a wonderful setting, wonderful backdrop. The athletes and masses will be enjoying the last few minutes of shade. There's a little bit of shade out on the course, but there's also a fair amount of sunshine as well. So they'll be taking advantage of the Mattoni water stations out on the course and making sure they stay as rehydrated as possible. So it is last minute preparations as they get themselves ready. First kilometre heads out of the barracks. So past the fortress and along the Dominican monastery. And that 2K, 19K, as they double back, they will see parts of the course that they're going to know well at various parts. And you can see it has dropped a little bit from earlier today's high of 26 degrees, 22 degrees. And you can see barely any wind. So wind is not going to be a factor today. 22 degrees, if they can find a bit of shade, might be okay for some of the elites, some of the masses that will be out there a little bit longer. So important that they maintain hydration. So, and make sure that they look after themselves. Starter of the race is the mayor of Olomouc. That is Malasak Zabrak. He's someone that is very, very proud of his city. Who's 106,000 occupants, many of them taking part in either of the races today. The 5K, where almost 1,000 people took to the streets, and almost 7,000 over 21.1 kilometers, 13.1 miles. That's the half marathon distance that we are going to get underway on local time of 7 o'clock. And you can see the athletes eagerly anticipating the sound of the gun. And there on cue is the gun, the start of the Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc, the half marathon distance. The Vulture will play in the background to set off our runners. This World Athletics Road Race Labeled event brought to you by RunCzech and sold out for this year. The 15th edition of this fantastic runner, race friendly for everyone, all abilities. And the race themselves features 31 elite athletes, 10 different European nationalities. And those European race records, 62-12 European record, Polat Alkian, the Turkish athlete from 2015. And the European women's record is Sachish Gerber of Spain from 2018. But whether we chase those times today or whether it is about chasing the performances and chasing the podium, that's what I expect it to be more about who makes it onto the podium and who's a smart racer out there in the early stages. So look out for Mesha, who's the athletes that we expect to be to the fore today. So it will wait for the early pace to settle down. So there's a lot of quality athletes that let me take you through the start list. And Brian Holodowski was again one of those that to look out for. So he's an athlete that is third in their recent Ukrainian national championships over 10K. But he is the half marathon national champion, third 2 weeks ago in Česká Budějovice. And his personal best was a few years back. But when you've run 60-40, you are a quality operator. and six-time national champion should never be overlooked. And there's the first shot of our elites as they head to the half-mile point in the race, a couple of minutes underway. And again, we'll try and keep you updated with as many splits as we can out on the course. If you're tracking your runners, then head to the RunCzech app. The splits, mats at 5K, 10K, 15K will give us a good indication of where our runners are at in relation to the fast times. You can see the 13-kilometer mark or 13-mile mark, I would have thought maybe, for the latter part of the course. So the pace up front, remember, no pacemakers in these RunCzech races. They are classic races between some of the classic in distance nations of Europe that are going to be duking it out for those Euro Heroes points. 2 races qualify in the 4-race series. This is the 3rd race. So top of the list at the moment, Lashim Bulacheki, he's the athlete that is the Belgium athlete that leads. It's Molko Mesfa, he's in 2nd place at the moment. Paula Sorofo, the British athlete, currently sits in 3rd in the men's. Nora Szabo leads the women's after 2 races, and it's Maxel Sola, who after her 2 second places, he's in 2nd place, but within touching distance. And Danka Chozrogova, the Czech athlete, is in 3rd place. But expect a lot of athletes having only ran 1 race so far in the series that things will change. And one of those you expect to be the quality Parachova, and she's gone straight to the front with Szabo just behind her. So we expect this to be a race to look out for the local star, the Olympian, the national record holder for 10K. And the pace itself, as they've flown through the 1st kilometre, anticipated inside 3.5 minutes per kilometre for each of their splits. So that would bring them around about the low 17-minute 5K split. And that's a time that many of these elite women can run for a number of kilometres. And you can see them already. They are moving with that side-on shot. You can see the pace that they're moving out. Szabo in the red. And that's Harchova just in front of her in the black shorts with the purple singlet. As we go back to the elite men. And there's a good pace being set up front at the moment. Remember, it's about kind of finding your rhythm, finding your pace in the early stages. Chahug is the athlete that we expected to be there in the orange singlet, having won 2 weeks ago. He's an experienced performer. And that looks like Horoshovsky on the left-hand side of the screen in the white. He was very aggressive 2 weeks ago. And he's someone, again, coming off the back of his national title over the half marathon. So full of confidence. And he showed that 2 weeks ago when it looked like he might even take the victory. So early stages in this race and the pace settling down, and the athletes who expect to be there, that could well be Bulvin tucked in to that group as well. Little check of the watch. And you can see the map on the left-hand side of the screen. They're 1 mile into the race. So the alongside the Dominican monastery, and they will hit that at 2K and also 19K. They'll be kind of behind or kind of halfway within view of the park and the cathedral as well. So you can see wonderful kind of green city. It's located, if you're not sure or not been or want to put Olomouc on your bucket list of places. So it's a wonderful city. As I said, just over 100,000 occupants, making it the 6th largest city. As you can see, the 2K mark passed way inside 6 minutes. So this is quick. So it's the administrative centre of the Olomouc region. So located by the Moro River that they're going to cross 6 times in this race. And wonderful city. So it's got a historic city centre, well-preserved urban monument reservation. Look out also for the Holy Trinity column. So which is listed in the UNESCO World Heritage Site for 2000. So that's the history of the streets that they're going to be passing through. But these runners themselves looking to set their own history in the early stages. So and wonderful bit of data as the stats of the leading athletes as they go through in the early stages of the race. You can see them just kind of vying for position. A few different services, road signs, not dissimilar to our cyclists where they've got to navigate certain points on the road course. Remember, these wonderful cities shut down for running tonight. It's about spectating, it's about running, and it's about enjoying what is a wonderful city and a wonderful atmosphere here. So the RunCzech team really do bring it with their events, and they really do bring an energy and a connectiveness of the local organising committee with the expertise of the fantastic RunCzech team. So they've running around about 2:54 per kilometre. So that would be a really healthy pace. And that would bring them around definitely into the 62-minute mark. So if we look at the time boarding, yeah, that would be definitely in the low 62 mark, which I'm sure the organisers would love them to be challenging for the best, European best that we've seen, which is that low 62-minute mark. So a few celebrities, interesting people at the start. Apparently the Japanese head of Japanese Athletics Federation was there, Naoka Kamaza. So welcome to many of our foreign athletes. So it's 10% made up of internationals. And that's great to see. 54 nationalities represented in the masses. And as I said earlier, we've got many represented in the Euro Heroes series. But it is a local athlete who's to the fore straight away. Teresa Herachova, the athlete that has a personal best of 71 minutes, 38 seconds. I'm sure one day she'd love to challenge the national record of 68 minutes. And second here, 22nd in the European Half Marathon Championships last year. And that was after second here 12 months ago. And ninth place in the European Road Running Championships. So top 10 there. That was a fantastic performance. 2:32 in Belgium, and also 7th place in Prague. Now that is some recovery. So no wonder she was on some tired legs and didn't really fancy running a couple of weeks ago in Česká Budějovice. So deciding to rest up. I would have expected to see her now in the next this race and the next race in the series. So Sebastian Hensel, the men's champion in the Euro Hero Series, so was not able to finish in Česká Budějovice, and he's not started today because of injury. So he won't make it a hat-trick of Euro Heroes titles in the men's. But I tell you what, the women's, if it's thrown down today, Sola would love to go in front of Szabo. But I tell you what, if Herachova throws down a fast performance today, then that would mean that we were going into the last race in the series, 20th of September, with the potential for it to go right down to the wire. So the first of the Mattoni water stops are taken, and I'm sure the athletes will be mindful of being hydrated. Normally in a half marathon, it might not be necessary to take on too much fluid, but when it is warm, 22 degrees, we got on the temperature gauge prior to the event. So probably wise to just hydrate, maybe just pour a little bit on the back of the head and just cool the body temperature down. As you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, the men are in the sun now, taking a little bit of advantage of those sprays as well. You can see the athletes veering off to the left. That was Khaled Choug deciding to maximize. Oh, there's a faller there on the right-hand side of the screen. Nora Szabo, hope she's okay. I was looking at the men on the left-hand side. Szabo back to her feet so quickly, and I hope she's okay. Oh, that was a maybe just a trip on the corner. The adrenaline's going to be surging now for Szabo. Such an experienced performer. But I tell you what, that can throw the very best of runners. There's now a bit of a check, a bit of almost a kind of calibration of, have I hurt myself? Is the knees okay? Have I winded myself? But yeah, I wonder whether we might get a chance for an action replay of that. But Szabo on that corner, winner in Calavera just over a month ago. And they're taking a tumble. And we hope she's okay. Third place 2 weeks ago, Česká Budějovice, and now on her feet here. So, and I think she's okay. That's great to see. She was very quick to her feet. I think that's testament that I think almost we won't catch a replay because she was so quick to her feet and just absolutely locked back in. So there's been some performances. The great Lassie Verin falling in the Olympic 10,000 meter final, got up and won. Sir Mo Farah fell as well, and he managed to get back up and win. So it's been done before, and I wonder whether that adrenaline, that surge of adrenaline, will be pumping through her veins and making sure that she just settles down now into the pace as the elite men are coming not far from a couple of minutes away from the 5K part of the race. And you can see already a few bodies dropping off this early pace. And I did expect the attack through the opening kilometers. It was quick. So I wonder whether that's a sign of runners just being a little bit smart, checking back on themselves, making sure that they're just mindful of the warm conditions, that they've just got to be mindful that they settle back and make sure that it's a concerted effort today. I think that for me as a coach myself would be probably the word of advice. Kind of look at the 8 mile point as being the halfway of a half marathon, and anything before that is settling into your rhythm, making sure that you're just not too aggressive too early on, because it can be such a long way. Almost the threshold that you run the half marathon at, that you can run for around about 60 minutes at. But if you pop it, if you go too hard, too fast, then you have to slow down. And factors like your core temperature will play a big factor in that. As it looks like Bohdan Ivan Horodowski maybe on that right-hand side of the screen, just drifting off the pace a bit. I think Bulvin there is with the headband and the glasses, just looking very controlled and an experienced performer. He's someone who's recovered, hopefully, from that 2:11 ninth place in the European Road Running Championships. He ran a decent 10K, 28:32 at the B race at the European Cup. So that was good recovery about 5-6 weeks later. And he's someone, again, that's got good leg speed, 28:10, Valencia 10K. And he's also someone that has finished high up in the European Road Championships in Rome last year as well, over the half marathon, so 23rd. So whether it's half marathon, whether it's marathon, he's a consistent performer in Europe, as is this athlete on the screen right now, Teresa Horachova, who's got that lovely arm action, very smooth running. And Zabo is tucked into that group, thankfully, as the athletes go through 5 kilometers, around about 14:40 for our lead group. So they are operating inside 3 minutes per kilometer. So that would put them right around that 62-minute mark. So that's right on pace in relation to chasing those course records. Some of that was Tarika Novas going through. And he's someone with 61:46 personal best that we expected him maybe to be slightly further up there. 7th place in the Prague Marathon, but whether that's still in his legs, that was the 30th edition of the Prague Marathon. But 2:11:30 that day, former European under-20 silver medalist Novels, but could be a little bit of fatigue in those legs. Running Olympic Games in Paris as well, another Olympian with 68th place on the streets of Paris. National record holder for Spain, 2:05. But 3 athletes pulling away already. And this is a good bit of running at the moment. And that is Jonans Mosherman is at the front. You can see him on the left-hand side of the screen. And he's dominant in the early stages and pushing the pace on. Emil is the other one. Emil Milan de Oliver. He's got an interesting, really interesting profile when you look at him, because he was such a performer, the Swedish athlete, as under 23 in 2020. National records, 13:29 5K and 28:23. And if you look at his progression, probably hasn't really produced at the senior level like he should. World half marathon champs, 62:53 in 2020. But when I went through his profile, he's someone that really jumps out as someone that is due a big breakthrough at some point. So Dilla Oliver is the athlete in 2nd place at the moment as we go back to the 5K split for our elite women. as they're going to be way inside 17 minutes. I said the low 17 minutes would be good running. And they are inside that, around about this 16:46 mark. So that's anticipating a round about 70-minute pace. So on PB pace for these athletes. So around about the 70, sort of probably around about the 70-40 pace. So that would be a good personal best pace for a couple of these athletes in this group. So it's a fast pace as they go over one of the stunning bridges across the river. There's a nice bit of cheering opportunities for the crowd on the side. And again, we're get confirmation of those splits when they do get made official. So those timing mats. Remember, if you do want to follow your runners at home, then do head onto the RunCzech app and follow the runners as we get to 6 kilometers already. And you can see it is the athlete, the German athlete, is pushing it on. Johannes Moscherman, who's not afraid to go right to the front. Bulvin is the Belgium athlete, the 28-year-old with the headband, with the glasses, that is sat in his 16. His personal best for half marathon was from Ghent last year. A lot of good performances in Ghent. A great course. The 61:25 that he set there. So at the moment, they're not operating too far outside that, but we do anticipate maybe the pace to maybe just level off a little bit. As they're 2:54 average. You can see a little bit of the elevation gain. Isn't too much elevation on the course. And if you work in miles, then you're looking at around about 6.44 will be the 4-mile point. You can see the race clock just below that World Athletics Road race label, which again, the RunCzech team are so proud of each of these races. And these races also for the masses feature the 5-race series of the RunCzech half series as well. That's a series where 5 of the races all count. You've got 36 months to complete them, and you then get to complete a very special medal at the end of it. So still waiting for the official lap splits to come out. But 5K cleared in around about 14:40 for our elites. And maybe just a slight gap now developing. The Moscherman is the athlete that's gone there, and he's putting the pedal down a bit as we go back to the elite women. And you can see, it looks like Sola. You can see her, I think, on the left-hand side of the screen. Actually, no, it's Maria Mazarenko. Yes, it is. So just being slightly obscured by some of our superb national runners in there as well. There's the split, 5K split, 16:47 for women, Zabo and Sola. You can see tucked in that group. So, and I think the other athlete missing from that as well, maybe Horachova, who we know is in that group as well. So early stages, and it's a quick opening exchange. And Sola is the athlete that we expected to be to the fore as well. Such a consistent performer. A little check of the watch. And you can see there that it's a controlled bit of running at the front. Sola there, who are expected to be such a performer, such a consistent runner. So second here 12 months ago, or second, sorry, I should say, in the Euro Heroes series. So second in the 2 races in the series. And you can see also the athlete that was not a surprise winner 2 weeks ago in Czech Republic, but Maria Mazarenko. So she's got a 71:35 lifetime best from Valencia last year. And 5th in those European Road Running Championships, 71:51. Also 32:49 in the B race at European Cup as well, showing great recovery. And 2nd in Padova also this year. So consistent performer on the road, and almost with the road running scene so strong in Europe, you kind of need to be a strong performer, as in this athlete is right now on the screen. So Johannes Moscherman is at the front, and he's got the cap on. There's behind him, Bulvin is the athlete that is wearing the sunglasses, wearing the headband. So just slightly different running styles. You will see that at the elite level. So, different arm carriage and it's like different heights in the athletes as they hit a slight incline. As the junior athletes, they would have probably taken part in the family races earlier today, whether the family run or the Bambino races, something for everyone. And that junior athlete almost gets taken out by the bin. So I think he's making sure that can he keep running with them for how long? That's hopefully gives him appreciation of how good these elite runners are. They're done. The two juniors are done. Probably the best part of 150 meters at the pace of the elite men. The Mattoni drink station is going to be important for hydration each time. So along with the likes of Adidas, such important sponsors and suppliers and partners of the RunCzech team and the series of races, just wonderful opportunities to share running with a wider audience across the Czech Republic. And RunCzech, Carlo Cabaldo does such a great job for this organization. And they were one of the real pioneers during COVID for getting races and running back, because they just know how important it is to making people happier, making people sort of more confident. And so they were just big advocates for getting road running and getting performances. They had the Adidas record series as well, where there was so many records set, world records set. I think there's been maybe so many world records set in different races in the RunCzech series, and they would love to add a few more of those. I was going to say before they hang their shoes up, but they're not hanging their shoes up anytime soon. So RunCzech are here to stay. But talking about here to stay, the leader at the moment, Johannes Mosherman, is the leader at the moment, and he's going through 8 kilometers. That's 5 miles. For those, as I said, that love your miles, it's always a discussion amongst runners. Are you a kilometer runner? Are you a miles runner? I'm one of those that switches between, depending whether I want a quick beep off my watch or a slow beep. And depends what distance you're running as well. Sometimes it's nice to look at only mile splits if you're doing something like a marathon. Some of these runners, they'll be so used to running mile reps, kilometer reps. They run up to the best part of 200 kilometers per week in training. So especially the fact that these are quality marathon athletes as well. So Mosherman, as I mentioned earlier, he's a fantastic marathon runner. He maybe was slightly disappointed with his 60th in Boston this year. That was only 2:22. That shows the depth of Boston, especially off the back of a 61:03 Houston. I think he expected to run a little bit faster. He's a bronze medalist in the German half marathon championships last year, 61:33, and 25th in the World Marathon Championships in 2023 in Budapest, and 16th in the European Championships in 2022 in Munich on home soil. So he's a competent, very confident championship performer. And again, someone that we expected to see to the fore in today's race. So a little check back to the women's race as the men has Mosherman just almost a signal, I think, to the athlete behind. Maybe he's getting a clip of the heels. Anyone that's felt that before for a runner, it'll signal maybe. And maybe at some point he might ask for Bulvin to come through and maybe share some of the work. If you are getting a few clipped heels and you're not getting much support, then sometimes you might want a little bit of support from the runner behind you. So whether he just asks for a little bit extra support, or whether it's a case now just continuing to push the pace on. So we saw that brisk first 5 kilometer split. So judging by the last 3 kilometers, they've maintained that. That was, in my estimation, around about an 8:50 last 3K. So that's still the best part of 2:53 maybe per kilometer. So operating at a really good pace at the moment. And Bulvin now has to work hard now. So he's finished 11th in the Antrim Coast half marathon. James McElroy's fantastic half marathon in August. And that was in a year that saw him finish 23rd in those European half marathon championships in Rome. But whether that 9th place, that's 2:11 from the road running championships earlier in April, whether that's still in his legs a little bit. 10K suggested maybe not. But it's always a case now of that smart build up. And sometimes you get a kickback straight away off a race. And then the little bit of fatigue kicks in after. So that's 9 kilometers. So maintaining the sub 3 minutes, or definitely there or thereabouts 3 minutes per kilometer. Jonas Mosherman is the leader at the moment as they power their way towards what will be 10 kilometers, the next important split that we get on the screen in front of us. So there's loads of music out on the course. The Mattoni Music Festival live points on the course as well. And as I said, this sold out a race. 7,500 people across the 5K and half marathon distances. The 15th edition, if you're joining us today, of the Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc, here in this wonderful historic city, the 6th largest city in the Czech Republic, and another fantastic World Athletics road race label event brought to you by the RunCzech team. My name's James Thee, and it's an honor and a privilege again to go through and talk about what are superb European athletes here, chasing fast times and getting real showcase of their talents in these this RunCzech Run Euro Heroes series. And this opportunity now has been taken by the German athlete on the screen, grabbing it with both hands. Johannes Mosherman is leading, wearing 6 on his back, little check over his shoulder just to see what the gap is like. And I tell you what, it is growing with every stride. Now, for any runner, that is a great sign if you're feeling good. Little check on the camera there just to check where the race vehicle was. So, but you'd probably almost be trying to get a glint of the distance behind of the chaser. And that is Dorian Bullivin. And I tell you what, that gap is growing at the moment. And the leg speed, the speed of the athlete on the screen looks absolutely fantastic at the moment. So also running those European Road Running Championships. So recovered enough from Boston, 34th there over 10K. 29.11, so a minute off his best there, his best set in Valencia, where so many of the 10K, half marathon and marathon lifetime bests are set. But I'll tell you what, his best is, you know, yet to come. I can see him being someone that could definitely challenge the 60-minute mark. And I'm sure he would also love to run a much faster marathon, 2:10 in London. And that always represents if you can finish top 10 in a major city marathon. Now, this is the 10K split. Remember, it was about 14:40 through the first 5K. What are we splitting through 10K? It is quick, 29:24. So the pace is being absolutely maintained metronomically. So that's about a 14:42, 14:43 second 5K. You can see the gap is growing as we go through almost every foot strike. You can see back to the Swedish athlete in 3rd place. Sub 30 minutes, though, for Milan Della Oliver. So he's having a fantastic run. That's sub 63-minute pace. So he's on lifetime best at the moment. So don't be fooled by the athletes behind. They are running quality times, quality performances. But at the moment, there is one athlete that is, well, he's absolutely taking it to them. So following the lead bike, look at that. Got so many great points. Would have got some great support. The inside information is 8.5K is the beer and cheer spot on the course. But I tell you what, given the evening's weather, there are so many opportunities, so many great spots, I think, for a beer and a cheer. So rather than just one spot out on the course, but, well, the beer and cheer for this athlete, he'll have to wait until his race is done and won. As you can see, one of the para athletes in the background. There is also the relay race for athletes. So with 640 runners, 160 teams taking part in that. It's a great way of breaking down. There's also the 2-run team, where again, they break down the distance. So the runners get to share the distance. So on the screen now, so the athlete from Spain, the athlete that has been a national champion of Spain, who we thought might be someone that would get right after it. So Marcel Sola is got some pace for companies about. So Marcel Sola has finished 2nd in the first 2 races. And again, we haven't seen Nora Szabo for a few minutes. Again, we hope she's okay after that fall that had to knock her very slightly, just in terms of her confidence. And there is Maxiel Sola. So again, wonderful rhythmical arm action. So twice second in the series already. The Spanish marathon champion from 2022. As I said, just 4 seconds in front with that 24th place from Teresa Herachova. So they were 24th and 25th on the streets of Paris. And tell you what, if you were on the streets of Paris for that Olympic Games, what an absolute treat. The Paris organising committee did a great job, but the atmosphere and the coming together of different countries, having seen the obviously what happened out in Japan and the what would have been such a celebrated Olympic marathon after it was delayed to 2021 when Sapporo just wasn't the event it could have been and would have been for the people of Japan. But I tell you what, Paris was a return to the streets, a return to the masses, and the noise and atmosphere on the streets of Paris was phenomenal. There's the gap back to Maria Mazurchenko. So Mazurchenko, the winner 2 weeks ago, and you can see, I think, whether that's Szabo, I think it is Szabo. Szabo is in 3rd place. So these athletes going towards, I think, the 10-kilometer point on the course. So Szabo just getting herself back to Mazurchenko. And there's your leader, Sola, on the screen in front, who's got a little bit of company around her just to give a little bit of kind of resistance to the light breeze that is out there. Very, very minor, though. And that is Abel Casali himself, a 66-minute half marathon athlete. The 153 to 224 marathon. So he's got a nice bit of pedigree. And doing a pacing job today, 33.5 minutes through the 10K spot. And just timing check for that. Yeah, that's on sub 71-minute pace. So Sola's lifetime best, 70.21 from Santa Paula last year. So probably not far off that at the moment. But what she will be concerned with is making sure that she maximizes those Euro Heroes points. I think if she does win today in a quick time, especially if it's inside 71 minutes, that would accelerate her to top spot in the Euro Heroes series as well. So remember, this is a race that features the Euro Heroes series, the race that took a pause during COVID, but started by the RunCzech team. Carlo Cabaldo, the founder of RunCzech, wanted to give the European athletes a platform and an opportunity to maximize their showcase in relation to the press of a race, the performance, the prize money, but also to give them a series of races to chase as well. And that's exactly what we've seen today already. And this is what's happening right now, is the chase is on for those performances. And this is the first in the series for the German athlete on the scene, on the screen in front of us. So he'll be looking to throw down what would be, well, could be the fastest time in the series so far. So that is Mosherman on the screen in front in the red Adidas kit and flowing off the tarmac here. It's a warm evening, has cooled down a little bit, but still fairly warm. As you can see, the track as they run to the side of the wonderful river that runs through the city here, and they'll be making sure that the cheering continues from many of those that took part in the 5K earlier today. So the point they're looking for, they've gone past the way past the 10K part now. The Andrev Station, that's home of the 5th place team in the Czech Republic, winners of the Czech Cup. And 11 kilometers that have just passed. It's past the Equestrian Club, but now 14K, you can see. So there's the top 3 in the men's. That doesn't quite look right for what we're getting in front of us on the screen. So I'll take that with a pinch of salt. I mean, that it is definitely Mosherman in the lead at the moment. So chasing the times at the moment, and also in the women's race as well. We know that it's Sola leading the women's race through the opening 10 kilometers. So the pace is fast. 29 inside 29.30 through that first 10K. So Abel leading Sola, the pacemaker, a 66-minute man himself. So the athlete that is on the screen there, great running style. Maricel Sola, the athlete, the Olympian, Spanish national title holder. She would love to be someone to go on to the top spot. So the multiple of kilometers that she has to run in training. So at that 11-kilometer point by the equestrian club. So many miles in the legs training for the marathon, and so many hard training sessions where they kind of get ready for the demands of the half marathon. And the performances that are coming up on the screen. So we know that Sola, I think there's some of the times of the chasers behind. So if that is the case, then that looks like Shoban, is a few seconds behind chaser. A few minutes behind, I think 34:30 to that opening 10 kilometers. So 37 minutes on the race clock. So over halfway in this elite women's race and elite men's race, but we're focusing on the elite women at the moment. Maricel Sola leading, and you can see the gap back there. You can just see Maria Mazurenko, the Ukrainian athlete, that is trying to close that gap. She was so strong in the second half at Česká Budějovice that I wouldn't rule it past a strong second half where she pulled away from Sola in the second half 2 weeks ago. And this is fascinating. Sola has got better and better each week. She looks more accomplished, and that's a lot to say. The fact the likes of Nora Szabo came out and smashed that first race. It's what they do in between. It's where someone's at in their training schedule and training cycle as well. Whether someone was looking to peak in that first race, throw down a fast time like we maybe saw with Szabo, who's currently in third place in the race as they make that switch back on the course. But or they're coming into great form, just like Sola is on the course. And on the right-hand side, this is a great split screen. So with athlete wearing 6, Johannes Moschermann is the athlete leading, the German athlete. Has a chance to check over his shoulder. That was a big look, but that's probably just a case of just checking the distance now. He'll be coming up to 40 minutes if he checks his race watch. That's always a significant point, I would have thought, for the elite men, where they know they're just over 24 or 23 minutes of quality running away from the finishing line. And he'll be making sure that he maintains the racing line, maintains his focus, because he had to give a big look back. You can see there's, no way of seeing the athletes behind. I can't see any of the athletes behind them right now. So this is a big push of the lead. And you can see that gap is growing and growing and growing from our leader out on the screen right now. So I can't see that closing any time unless there's a big blow up. But he's such an experienced performer, such an experienced athlete that, well, I can't see anything other than a dominant victory. But, well, never hang the gold medal, never hang the title around a runner's neck, especially with, there's enough kilometers on the road, and also just making sure that he's navigated the heat. Navigating the heat is exactly what Maricel Sola has done on the right-hand side, passing 12 kilometers, just over 40 minutes. So she's getting some good support out on the course. The athlete, as I said, that's leading her at the moment is Abel Casali. So a very experienced athlete that is pacing. There are not always pacemakers out there, not always for the men, but the women can sometimes benefit from paces that are of a similar standard as they go through a great cheer spot out on the course, getting some great support, and great to see the youngsters here in Olomouc who are enjoying these sounds. And these are great role models, these athletes. And that's Carlo Cabaldo is one thing that he wants to get out there with these role model athletes to the locals, and they can see these superb European athletes chasing records, chasing fast performances, and really trying to throw down and make it known what a superb set of athletes that we've got in Europe. So coming up to 41 minutes 30 on the race clock. Welcome if you're joining us from around the world from around Europe. Local time, it is 7:41, and it is the Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc 2025, sold out. Over 10,000 competitors across various distances, 7,500 going across the half marathon and 5K distances, then 3,500 going over the family and Bambino runs earlier today. But everyone is courtside now for our half marathon runners, and the masses, they'll be coming in much later into the evening as Sola rehydrates with her Mattoni water, making sure that she stays hydrated out on the course. Great split screen here of our elite men on the left-hand side of the course and our elite women on the right-hand side. So as we go back to Johannes Moscherman, the athlete that is so experienced, the fastest man in the field in 2025 with that 61:03 from Houston this year. Not afraid from the very beginning to take it to them. Look at that. It's a great shot with spectators on the bridge. Some people enjoying the fantastic, wonderful, beautiful park here. So between 14 and 16 kilometers towards that 10-mile point, the park is a wonderful place for families to go and enjoy themselves and go and spend an evening. And what a chance to cheer on the very best runners of what is a wonderful event here. And it really brings the very best of fitness, of festival it is, of wellness. And the slogan, the RunCzech slogan of all runners are beautiful in this beautiful park. Just such a great backdrop. You can see the numbers. You can see people with their cameras out, the children making sure that they cheer the runners as they go through. And it is the leader at the moment. Johannes Moscherman is the leader. And you can see the sunshine beating down. He's almost hidden on the screen as he comes back into shot. So again, this shows how good he's running, or how well he's coped with the pace. So back to the elite women and the leader, Maricel Sola, who is leading in that pink with the black shorts. And she looks in the zone. Very controlled, very dominant bit of running to start with. And, well, someone that really looks as if she's navigating and, well, putting down a superb performance so far. Brilliant bit of running as we go through 15 kilometers, 44:20. So maybe just a slightly slowing of the pace to around about 15 minutes for that last 5 kilometers. But again, it's slowed up front, but the gap has grown. So that shows the early part, the damage that's been happened on the early part of the running, and the fact that the pace has dropped to 3 minutes kilometers, but the gap has continued to grow. I mean, again, that just shows the quality of the athlete in front of us. So Moscherman is dominant in that red Adidas singlet, and he doesn't need to look behind him, because I don't think he's going to see anyone unless he looked behind him and stood still for around about 30 seconds. So he's got a chance to, you don't often get a chance to maybe enjoy yourself out in the streets of a fantastic, historic, such a picturesque half marathon. But this athlete here, Sola, she can't rest on her laurels, because the athletes behind are trying to give chase. So Maria Mazarenko finished so strong in the last 5 kilometers 2 weeks ago that Sola must know that. And I think that's her tactics. I think that's been Sola's tactics, to get out and make sure that she really gives a performance that, well, the athlete has to chase behind and has to maybe try and close that gap down. Mazarenko was keeping Sola in her sights. So it's a case now of, has Sola timed this? The next split we get for Sola will be the 15 kilometers, and we'll try and get a time gap back to the chasers behind. So as we come back to what is a fantastic race here, welcome if you're joining us from around the world. This is the 2025 Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc, in this wonderful historic city, the sixth largest in the Czech Republic, just over 100,000 occupants, and so many. You can just see so many of them on the streets. I mean, that's a testament again to the support, I think, just to the local push for this event year on year. The 15th edition of this race. The only pause was during COVID. But I tell you what, it is going from strength to strength each year. I think one that just has so much of a hit-rich tradition of running. Remember, the European record here at Olomouc stands at 62:12. And I tell you what, Mosheman isn't that far away from that. So he's run so well, and he's gone through that first 15 kilometers in low 62-minute pace. So, but he's going to have to maintain that. He's going to have to almost pick that pace up in the latter stages, and that's going to be hard to do when you can just see the gap that he has on the chasers behind. So Johannes Mosheman is the leader. There he is on the screen in perfect isolation, other than the cheers, the adulation of the crowd, who are really appreciating the fine bit of distance running they're seeing as he continues to push the pace on. And again, he's just not afraid to just keep, well, ploughing on as he did from the very opening kilometre, and almost gave no chance. And again, he's probably more likely to injure himself, tweak a muscle in his neck of injury than he is, I think, to be chased from the group behind, because you can look at his cadence. That's the speed he's moving off the ground. And it is such a good amount of speed and strength off the ground that the athlete that's so decorated on the European and world scene. And I think he's due a super fast marathon at some point in the future. And again, he's definitely someone that could threaten the 60-minute mark in over the half marathon distance as he rattles through another kilometer, coming up to 49 minutes of running. And that will be, well, something that to him will be a really big achievement to then tick off. He's ticked off 10 miles, and he knows then that he's got a great opportunity to continue to fight towards that record. And wouldn't we love to see a record set today? So we team here, the RunCzech team, would be delighted. That's something that, Carlo Caballo would, the chairman of RunCzech organising committee, they love great races, and they love the records to be edged out each year. But for these runners also, they know the time they throw down towards the Run Heroes, the Euro Heroes standings. That's so important that they can continue to increase the pace, because it does go on times, the Euro Heroes series. Therefore, they want to keep the pace going. They want to make sure that they maintain that all the way to the finishing line to make sure that the best time is thrown down. You can just see the almost again the look round of where is everyone? Can I believe the gap that I've got? And you can see that's almost the best part, at least 300 to maybe 400 meters. So just relax now. You can see 2:57, the average kilometer pace. And that would put him, well, way inside 63 minutes. But again, challenging that 62:12 time. It's just whether he realizes he's that close to it. There would be a bonus provided by RunCzech for that. It's just whether he realizes that it's within almost touching distance, or whether it's a case of just cruising now and taking the victory. Decisions runners have to make at some point in a race, and some of those decisions the body will make for you if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling fatigued, or I'm not sure what his racing schedule is like, what's coming up over the next few weeks as well. So this historic city, Olomouc has come alive. So much energy, so much excitement. So it's a historical region in the east of the Czech Republic. And this is, one of the top 10 half marathons in Central Europe. And it's a real festival in what is a city that passes the UNESCO listed Holy Trinity column. And this wonderful Saturday evening, warm conditions, but being navigated, as you can see, by the athletes on the screen, with Sola leading the women's race. But whether there was a chance, Szabo could close that, or Mazurenko could close that gap on Maricel Sola. But I don't think anyone is going to close the gap on the athlete on the screen in front of us. Been a fantastic bit of running. Johannes Moscherman has just been dominant from the start, and he continues to go away with almost every single stride. So we'll wait again for confirmation of the chase behind, but I don't think he's got anything to worry about. And it is now probably a case of, well, as I said, if you can enjoy running at almost your threshold limit, which you can hold for around about an hour, it's uncomfortable, but you should be able to maintain it. And that's exactly what the facial expressions look like of Moscherman there. So you can see that 2:57 kilometers, he's maintaining that. So he might need to pick the pace up if he does want the course record, or if he does know the course record. Maybe keeping an eye on that. Maybe later on as he gets towards the last mile or so of the race. But at the moment, he is just flowing through the streets and almost going through a continuation of his lead with every foot strike. And the crowd, they're really appreciating this. You can see that there's been some great spots. There's the Mattoni water spots down on the course as well as the music stops. So Mattoni have been such great supporters of these races. You can see Sola taking advantage of the drink station. The Mattoni drink station will be a welcome bit of rehydration. Now Sola, what's the gap back? What's the chase back behind? That's what we don't quite know yet, whether the gap behind is closing or whether there is a chance that Sola now can just navigate the last few kilometers and enjoy, whether that's possible as well. I think you could just see maybe just in the background. So that means maybe not a case yet of relax. It's not in the bag, 16 kilometers. So 5 kilometers of running to go. Mazurenko was so strong in that last 5 kilometers. Cheska Bolovica a couple of weeks ago that, well, it's not over yet. And I'm anticipating that this could go down to the wire if the athlete from the Ukraine can find a gear. I think Szabo's with her as well. So Abel Casali just giving the athlete from Spain just a little bit of direction on the course in terms of to take the fastest line. It's going to come down now to making sure that the lines are chosen. The chasers behind know exactly who they're chasing. They've got their eyes locked on the back of Sola. And this is going to be a fantastic race into the latter stages here, into the last 5 kilometers, into the last 16 minutes of running here at the Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc. This is the half marathon distance, sold out this year. A wonderful city, a wonderful region of the Czech Republic. So again, if you've been following us in the series, put it on your bucket list. There's one more in the series, 20th of September. So the Ulster Nad Lebron half marathon, and featuring obviously the Mattoni Festival of running as well. So do put that on your bucket list. There's one more, and it's at the end of the summer as well. But I tell you what, this last few weeks of this Euro Hero series, the RunCzech series, has been full of action. And I think with 55 minutes on the race clock, there's much more action to come in this race. As well, the challenge, the attack of the athlete on the front of the elite women's race. It's been such a superb bit of running, and a leader through that first 5 kilometers, and then deciding then to continue to push the pace on and go away from the field behind. But the gap itself hasn't widened as much as the elite men's race. And that's why I think we're going to come down maybe to a potential battle if the athletes chasing behind Szabo, Mazurenko can muster a fast last 2 kilometers. Now, talking about a fast last 2 kilometers. So 19 kilometers, 56:40 on the race clock. Jans Mosherman is leading. So with around about 6 minutes of running, he's going to be around about the 62, maybe 30 mark if he does close this out. So I do think the race record 62:12 is safe this year, but this could be one of the fastest times we've seen in the series. Damien Viech was a popular winner of the first race. And an athlete that we expected to be a challenge today, Kale Shahoub, the Dutch athlete that we haven't seen him today, winner 2 weeks ago. But again, we're going to wait and see what he can continue to put down. So looking at the 15-kilometer mark, so it was a minute back to, well, it was Emil Della Oliver, the Swedish athlete. Dorian Bolvin was in third place. Hordowski was only another 20 seconds back from third place. And Chaug was back in fifth place. And again, in the chase, in the pack, maybe for a podium position as well. So he's maybe not done yet for a podium. So that was maybe between Della Oliver, Bolvin, Hordowski, and Chaug. They're in battle maybe for third place or even second place, second and third place. But the battle is not on for the leader. It's a battle for the time. It's going to be the fastest time in the series this year. And whether he can get inside 63 minutes, that will be a big, significant amount of points. And then he just needs to put his pen to paper and sign his intentions for the 20th of September. Just depends on other half marathons, whether he's got an eye on those World Championships in Tokyo over the marathon as well. So that's one again for athletes that they need to navigate their summer series and summer seasons into what half marathons. If they're running the major city marathons, which one? And if they're running the championship marathons, again, where and which one, whether they're going to get selected. So hard now to get selected for any of the major marathons, whether that's Olympics, whether that's World Championships, because the standard across the board is just so intense, so strong now at any level. 2:06 is the men's time now to automatically qualify for the Olympic Games, and 2:23, or for the World Championships, I should say, and 2:23 for women. And that has just literally gone through the roof the last couple of years. And it's one now that qualifying off championships and your own national championships is one where you can get qualification for those as well. So that's a good way into championships and making sure that you score national points along the way. So the athlete in front, he keeps looking over, and I wish someone would tell him, you are safe. You don't need to look over. All you're doing when you look over is wasting time. 20 kilometers, they're inside 60 minutes. So you can see, yeah, a drop-off in that last 5 kilometers. So that has been the toughest 5 kilometers, been the slowest 5 kilometers. But he knows he's only got 1.1 kilometers of running, around about 3 minutes. So I anticipate a time just inside 63 minutes, or maybe 63 minutes low for the athlete on the screen in front. The German athlete that's been absolutely dominant. Johannes Moschermann has been a superb performer on the streets of Olomouc today. And he just continues to go away stride by stride. A few of the cobbled streets will test the calves, test the legs, test the balance. But I tell you what, if you're flying and running as well as this athlete on the screen in front, then it won't test you too much at all, because you know you're on your way to hopefully a superb title. And he's going to throw down what should be a very quick time. And that will give him the lead, and that will give him the performance of the Euro Heroes series so far in 2025. So Moschermann, an athlete that we anticipated as 25th in the World Marathon Championships in 2023. 9th in the London Marathon in 2024, set his personal best earlier this year at the turn of the year in January, the fast race out in Houston, where he just ran outside the 61-minute mark for his lifetime best. He's going to be outside his lifetime best today, but he's going to be a very popular winner today. Moshuman has been the dominant enforcer of the pace from the very beginning in that red Adidas singlet. A little check of the watch, but it's only him versus the clock now. I think he can see one of the markers. I think that might be the 200-meter to go marker. So he's turning in this historic city centre that has so many amazing landmarks, wonderful history to it. It's got UNESCO listed Holy Trinity column, and they'll be getting loads of support with 62:30 on the race clock. So the athlete from Germany can enjoy the final stages of the half marathon distance. And there you go. I think that's the 200 meters to go mark. That must have been the 400 meters to go mark. So he's been cruising the last few kilometers. He knows the victory's in the bag. He's been looking over his shoulder, almost at the disbelief of the gap that he's grown on the chasers behind. But he's got the final few stages of the course to navigate as he's going to come towards that finishing line, and he's going to get to celebrate the title. Here he is. There's the finishing line. The gold of the map will celebrate our leader coming in to the home straight. The Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc 2025 half marathon champion from Germany, Johannes Moshuman, is the champion. 63 minutes and 28 seconds. You don't often get a chance to cruise in such a high quality half marathon, but the German athlete has done that. Absolutely obliterated the field over the first half, and the Mattoni flag will fly on his back of the sponsors of the race as the battle now. I said it was a battle for second and third. There was not much to choose between them. So Bolvin is the Belgium athlete on the left with the sunglasses, being chased by colleague Chug, was the winner 2 weeks ago in that orange singlet, the Netherlands athlete, but I don't think he's got another gear. So he's going to have to settle for third place 2 weeks later, but he's on the podium again. And you can see the clock ticking over 64 minutes. So Dorian Bolvin, the Belgium athlete, is going to take second place. He knows he's going to throw down some good points in the Euro Hero Series. He'll be on second place on the podium. And Chog, another strong run. He's backed up his run from 2 weeks ago. Similar time, won in 64:08 in Česká Budějovice. And today, third place for the Dutch athlete. As Hodoronsky there settles for a fourth place. So he was fourth in Karlovy, second 2 weeks ago. But Bordin Ivan Hodorowski will have to settle for fourth place today and fifth place. Good to see. I'm excited to see what happens to this athlete. Emil Milan Dola Oliver, said a former or national record holder at under 23 level for Sweden. And when you've run the times he's run, well, I'm kind of anticipating if he can translate that to the road, then he can run a lot quicker than his 62 half marathon lifetime best. But that's our top five home in the elite men's race, as the camera still turns its attention to the finishing line. See whether we can capture any more of the elite men across that that finishing tape. The gantry here with the winning time coming up, 63 minutes and 26 seconds. So here's some of the chasers behind, all in the top 10. Wearing 15, that's Espinosa, the Spanish athlete. He's going to take, I think, sixth place. So we're 64:08, lifetime best set in Barcelona Well, the world record was broken by a certain Jacob Kiplimo that day. 56 minutes and 42 seconds. So there, that's a good run for, Paul Aspinina. And just ahead there of the second of the Ukrainian athletes. That is Molokola RunCzech. And he's going to also be in the top 10. As in this athlete here, the Moldovan athlete, Maxim Mattoni, is a very consistent performer on the marathon. He's a 2:09 marathon best from Seville, 2004. Recently added to his tally of national titles. Now it stands at 13, 11 outdoors, 2 indoors. And he took another one of those recently. So well done, Maxim. Another quality finisher here. 9th in Česká Budějovice, and a top 10 finish here as well. And he's such a consistent performer, the Moldovan athlete. And he's another top 10 finish in a RunCzech event. And he's just be checking his performance to see how it stacks up with his own Euro Heroes points as well. So 67 minutes and 50 seconds as the next athlete comes down towards the finishing line. We're still, I think, looking for the first of our Czech athletes home. And there's a good bit of cheer. I think wearing 13. I think that could be Jiri Homelak, who is 5th in the Euro Heroes standings, 7th at Karlovy, 11th in Česká Budějovice. But he was 2nd Czech athlete. And look at this, taking the applause. Love that, almost like a triathlon finish line. Not quite worried about the times. A 4-time national champion and getting great support. And he looks utterly delighted with that. We'll be seeing him on the podium later when they reward the best of the Czech athletes. The Mattoni flag is, or towel, I should say, probably wrapping around the athlete until almost giving him wings. That's a fantastic shot there. That'll be one to hang on the wall of the gym or the training office or the office in the house. So fantastic performance there, Jiri, as he does get a top 10 finish today.
You have it right, guys. Johannes is the first, Dorian, and
so there, our attention turns back to the elite women. So Maricel Sola, who's powering on now. We thought there might be a chase from behind, but it hasn't materialized. Sola has been dominant. She's finished 2nd in the first 2 races in the series. But I tell you what, she's made absolutely sure today. Didn't hang back, was, one that took the pace. Help from Casali there in front of her. As the next finisher, wearing 18 in the elite men's race, going down towards that finishing line. Getting some great support, but our attention turns to the, that is Pedro Patrick, who's going to finish us at 70 minutes. So Patrick there is, I think, up in the Czech performances, but Maricel Sola, the Spanish athlete, is a superb performer, an Olympian. She's been a consistent performer on the European stage, and she's been a consistent performer on the RunCzech stage over the last month or so, having done the 3 races of the series so far, 2 second places, and so she will be a very popular victor today. If you don't succeed the first time, come back again. If you don't succeed the second time, then 3rd time a charm. And navigating the final sections of the course, just trying to get a check on the chasers behind as our next finishers in the men's race. That's one of our mass start finishers. So he's had a good run, just outside 71 minutes. So we're waiting for the leader. And here she is coming into sight. Maricel Sola is leading. And she's been a superb supporter of the RunCzech series, navigating those cobbles. And you can see now with F2 on her back, that second place, though, is going to have to be replaced by a number one. Szabo has moved through for second. Remember, she took a fall early on. Winner of the first race of the series. And third in the last race. But it's going to be victory for the athlete from Spain. Maricel Soler is the Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc Half Marathon Champion 2025. Szabo from Hungary gets up for second place. Fantastic run after falling earlier on in the race. Hats off to her for that. And Maria Mazarenko, that's such a close women's race. It really did come down to the wire. The, well, best part of 20 seconds separating first, second and third. And that was a fascinating race. But Soler finally takes top spot of the podium. And she will be absolutely ecstatic with that. That's a hard-fought victory. And you can see the gap was definitely closing at the end. And there's Jonas Mosherman, the victor there. You can see the official time, 63.29. Dorian Bolvin, the Belgium athlete, 64.33. Kolichuk there, third place. So backing up his win 2 weeks ago, 64 minutes and 37 seconds. That will give him a really healthy amount of points as well. So that could well put him top of the Euro Hero Series. And Puchiki, the Belgium athlete, was leading after 2 races. And you can see Horozhkovsky will also be very high up on that list as well. The Ukrainian, as the points go into the main computer here, and they generate those Euro Hero standings. But what a fascinating women's race as well. And will those standings change as well? Nora Szabo was leading from, well, Maricel Soler after the first 2 races of the series, but I think that will change. Mazarenko will shoot up the rankings as well, I think, into third place. So with all to play for, with 1 race to go in the Euro Heroes title for 2025. 1 race to go on the 20th of September. But it's all about now. It's all about the Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc 2025. And still the runners come down in this historic, wonderful city east of Prague in the Czech Republic. So just over 100,000 occupants, historic streets. And they're celebrating the runners here today as that's Ola RunCzech, who's 71.44 lifetime best. 7th in Karlovy in 76 minutes and 19 seconds. So she's going to be inside that. 8th in European Road Running Championships. National champion, 32.35. So that's the quality of runners that are finishing outside the podium here today. 4-time national champion for Ukraine. So former 6th in the World Juniors in 2008. I love seeing that when athletes that have longevity that have come through the junior ranks and become quality senior athletes. So 3rd in the European Championships, going back to Helsinki as a senior. So, and already finishing now. And there's the first of our Czech runners home. And that's a fantastic run. And that's just inside or there about 75 minutes for Teresa Herachova, the 25th in those Olympic Games, and showing that those 2 marathons so close together. The European Road Running Championships, 9th place, and then 7th place in Prague. And their confirmation of the top 3 elite women. You can see Maricel Soler just inside 72 minutes, 71 minutes and 53 seconds. So not challenging the course record today. And Nora Szabo, 72 minutes and 2 seconds, just 9 seconds. And behind the winner, just 7 seconds ahead of Mazarenko. But what a run. And 16 seconds by my calculations separating 1st and 3rd in, well, the streets, operating 21.1 kilometers, 13.1 miles, and it coming down to less than 100 meters. And well done there to Herachova. So the first of our Czech female athletes home. Very, very popular athlete and big supporter of the RunCzech series. Someone that has won the Euro Heroes title previously a couple of seasons ago. and some fair amount of good points into the system. But I think she's going to have to really go one to get on that top spot of the Euro Heroes series. I think it's gone up. It's gone up a couple of notches over these first three races with the likes of Szabo, with the likes of Sola, and with the superb running of Maskarenko. So performances have gone through the roof, I think, over the last few weeks because they just know the platform. They know the performances. But I tell you what, one the athlete that's thrown down a big performance today in the elite men's race, Johannes Moschermann, the German athlete. So 63 minutes and 24 seconds for the victory. And, well, he'd have to come back on the 20th of September to throw down another race. We're heading for an ad break.
Halo na slovíčko. Pojďme si popovídat o našich tělech a pocitech. O tom, co nás posiluje a co nám prospívá. Mluvme o ženském zdraví. DM, zde jsem člověkem, zde nakupuji. Získejte 200 extra bodů za váš první nákup se Scan & Go za 200 korun a více.
So welcome back again to the Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc 2025. And we've seen the conclusion of two spectacular elite races. This World Athletics Road Race labelled event brought to you by RunCzech and the superb partners, supporters and sponsors. Every one of them playing such a pivotal role in what is a superb festival is running as more of our elite women finish. And you can see that, I think it was F10 across the line there. We get confirmation of that as some of our masses cross the line. I think that could be one of the Czech runners. That could be Michela Chapova. We'll wait for confirmation of that. If it is, then I think she could be in the top three of the Czech female athletes home. But I think she might have been, yes, potentially. She was second place or even third place, maybe going over the 15 kilometers. But we'll wait for confirmation of those performances, of those times. But the elite men's race, phenomenal performance. So I think being confirmed at 63.28 on the race clock. Moschermann, a very impressive victor. And, well, he might need to get a massage, not on his legs, but on his neck, given the amount that he tried to look round during the race. I think we might buy him a set of wing mirrors for a hat or something to look behind him, because he was desperately trying to see the chasers behind, but they just were not in view. And he could really enjoy the race. It's been an enjoyable day and a festival. Started at 3 o'clock today with a 5K, almost 1,000 runners on the streets. 5 o'clock saw the family and Bambino runs. And then the half marathon distance started at local time, 7 o'clock. So we're up to 80 minutes of running now. So we're going to be working home some of our very good club runners across the line and finishing off with our elite women athletes that started earlier today. But then it's about the masses. They've got pacemakers out there with their different feather flags of the various times. And you can see a wonderful shot of the city there. It should definitely be on people's bucket lists. Make your trip out of, obviously, bucket list. People will travel to Prague, but there's so many wonderful cities, as wonderful performances from the elite women's race on the screen there. There's the top 10. Maricel Sola. She will be delighted to see her name on the top spot of the podium for the first time in the series in 2025. The fantastic bit of running there. So Zabel was second. So a brilliant bit of running by the athlete that was looking to defend her title. She went 42 seconds faster than 12 months ago. She even fell during the race, Szabo, but took second place. So that's huge props to her. And Mazarenko, another very solid run for the Ukrainian, who's just in a rich reign of form at the moment. And she closes off the podium. And you can see the battle behind. Petrova was the first of the Czech athletes home, just inside 75 minutes. And it's a race that needs numbers of supporters, of volunteers. 837 volunteers are out on the course and at the start-finish area in this historic city centre. A great picture there of the cathedral and so many green spaces. Hopefully that came across, with a wonderful park in the city centre as well, that it gives a feeling of wonderful historic city centre, but some lovely areas of green to take the family on different strolls, different walks around. You get a chance to make your way here at various times. And if you're not looking to run the whole half marathon distance, the Sakova 5K run, and it's a fantastic opportunity. As we recap on the elite men's race, the race was started 7 o'clock local time, and no doubt about the person that wanted to go straight to the front of the race. It was a dominant bit of running from Johannes Moscherman, who went straight to the front. That first 5 kilometers, 14:40 thereabouts. It was Bulleman, was the Belgian athlete, with the Swedish athlete that was right on his tail as well, Olivia. The three of them did pull away. But I tell you what, once the pace was maintained by Moscherman, the Belgium athlete, quality athlete himself, top 10 in the European Road Running Championships, Bulleman had to drop off in the white singlet. He would come back and fight his way back for second place after fighting off a pack of runners trying to close him down. But it was the cat. It was the red Adidas singlet of the German athlete that just pulled away, powered away through 10 kilometers in just over 29:20. And around about a 15-minute third kilometer. A little bit slower than that in the fourth 5 kilometer split. But the race was done. The race was won. An athlete himself that is very well decorated. 25th in the World Marathon Championships in 2023. Top 20 European Marathon Championships in 2022. Would have been disappointed with his 60th place in Boston earlier this year, but he's bounced back. He showed us exactly why he's such a superb performer on the European stage. And Johannes Moscherman taking the title here at the Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc over the half marathon distance. And Dorian Bolivin, the Belgian athlete, fought very hard over the last few kilometers for just over a minute behind the winner to secure second place. And an athlete that we're delighted to, with the the orange of the Netherlands, will be taking third place on the podium. And we'll see those presentations coming up shortly as well. As we go back, I think, to the highlights of the elite women that will be coming up shortly as well. As 21:25 on the race clock, and a look of relief of runners as we go to the presentation almost on cue for the elite men. Ale Charuga, you can see top spot 2 weeks ago, Česká Budějovice. Today in third place, but putting some top points on the Euro Heroes series for 2025 from Belgium. In second place, Dorian Bolivin, up there from the very beginning in that white and blue short kit with the headband and glasses. Easy to pick out from the race, but the athlete wearing the black cap, the Adidas red singlet, he's going to be a popular winner today. He'll be absolutely delighted with his performance. Getting a great cheer. So superb bit of running there. Johannes Moscherman is your champion for 2025. And as usual, there'll be a wonderful selection of trophies and awards for these athletes. So the glassworks and agito that grace the Tour de France winners, and the different awards as well, the medals that are presented. The RunCzech team do a wonderful job of the elite presentations for the top 3 men and women, but also the top 3 Czech athletes home as well. And again, a real showcase. Carlo Cavallo will be delighted with this showcase of the German athlete on the top spot on the podium, Belgium on the 2nd spot, and the Netherlands on the 3rd spot. And there's the photo that will go probably in the brochure for the 2026 edition of the race and the RunCzech series as well. So I think it's time for the national anthem of Germany. So that was the German national anthem. And again, just celebrating performance there from our winner Mosherman there. So still to come, we have the elite women's presentation, as well as the top 3 men and women from the Czech side of the event as well. So join us after the break. So again, we're back at the 2025 Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc, here in this historic city. It's been a fantastic day so far. So with 7,500 entries across the 5K and half marathon distance, 3,500 over the family fun runs and Bambino runs. So it's one that should be on the bucket list. It's a lovely city to travel to if you're looking for a little bit of half marathon or tourism. It's such a popular thing right now, getting out of the beaten path as well. This wonderful city in the east region of the Czech Republic. It's got so much history and such a fantastic event. 10% of the field are made up of European that are non-Czech athletes and runners. So it'd be great to see more of you in the future. As we go back to the highlights of the elite women's race there. So the local favourite was to the 4 straight away. That was Teresa Herachova, but she had to give way fairly early on. So Nora Szabo, the athlete that we saw winning Karlovy, go to the front of the race. But then it was Maricel Soler, you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, who was following her Spanish compatriot, Babel Casali, and the athletes that have, well, they know the podium very well at RunCzech events with the likes of Mazurenko there as well. These 3 athletes in Soler with Szabo, Mazurenko, they know nothing but being on the podium this season. And they know about the points going in to the Run Heroes series. But it was Soler that midway through the race just stole what was around about 100 meters. And that gap, every time the camera panned back, you could see the likes of Szabo, you could see Mazurenko. And Szabo unbelievably took a tumble during the race as well. She bounced literally off the concrete. Fantastic recovery by the 5-time Hungarian national champion. And the 2:25 marathon runner as well, Szabo. And, well, she got back on her feet and got back in the race. But it wasn't quite enough to catch the fantastic winner of the Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc half marathon from Spain, Maricel Soler, taking the title. Second place in Karlovy, second place in Česká Olomouc. You can see the win there, taking everything out of her. The defending champion, Nora Szabo, had to settle for second place, settling for third place, Maria Mazurenko, but just 16 seconds separating first to third. What a high quality elite women's race. So as the masses still come down towards the finishing line, 1 hour 35, they're going to be here for the next couple of hours. And RunCzech make sure that every single runner gets recognised and brought over the finish line. It's a superb celebration of fitness. Remember, all runners are beautiful is the motto from the RunCzech team. Carla Caballo is such a supporter of running across the Czech Republic, but also across Europe and the world as well. And so many partners you can see on the gantry there play their part as we get a chance to recognise some of them in the upcoming ad breaks.
Mattoni už není, doplň minerály. Mattoni už není, doplň minerály.
Jako vždycky?
Mattonizováno.
Vaše tělo si žádá vyvážené minerály. Mattoni je dodá každý den. Mattoni je život.
Kdyby si auta mohla sama vybrat, tankovala by kvalitní paliva Orlen. Následujte kvalitu. Orlen. Společně na cestě vpřed.
So welcome back to the next set of awards here at the Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc 2025. I think it will be our elite women that gets the chance to get on to the top 3 spots in the podium. Just saw the recap of that fantastic race, and it was one that came down to less than 100 meters separating the top 3. And it's a chance now to recognize those 3 athletes. The athlete on the 3rd spot on the podium, winner 2 weeks ago, 5th in the European Road Running Championships. There's such an experience. Maria Mazarenko there of the Ukraine, taking 3rd place. Second place, a 2:25 marathon runner herself, and multiple Hungarian champion, defending champion, 2nd place today, Nora Szabo. And 2 second places in the series going into today. So a very popular victor from Spain, 24th in the Paris Olympic Marathon, Maricel Sola.
Finishing in 3rd place, and the winner of Mattoni Half Marathon Olomouc 2025 was Maricel Sola, Spain.
Fantastic cheer, and that will feel a very, very nice feeling to be on the top spot of the podium, having fought for it the last couple of races, and it didn't quite happen. But as I said, 3rd time's a charm, and a very welcome recipient of the awards. So again, the trophies and the medals that the athletes will receive, as well as the various prize money. And all these 3 athletes now, I'm almost trying to do my calculations for the Euro Heroes standings for 2025. There's going to be maybe a chance if there's a fast race on the 20th of September, or have they wrapped it up now? That's going to be the fascinating one to see. And has Sola done enough to go into the top spot ahead of Szabo? The Ogito glass trophy as well will be presented after the flowers to our top 3 elite women on the podium. So Ukraine, Hungary and Spain. So again, a real spread of nations involved and part of this fantastic event. The Ogito glass trophies there to be presented. A little bit easier to transport than I think we've had some much larger ones in the previous 2 races as well, but they are absolutely spectacular. Beautiful trophies, and well, something to put proudly in the house. And yes, there you go, put the flowers inside. Don't get any better vases than that. So I think next up we're going to have the national anthem of Spain.
So ladies and gentlemen, please stand up if you are able to for the national anthem of Spain. Dámy a pánové, na počest vítězky vyslechněme hymnu Španělska.
And there, that was the national anthem of Spain as we celebrate our top 3 women. Mazarenko, Szabo, and Sola. Marcel Sola is absolutely delighted. You can see that smile, having taken the top spot of the podium. And just great to see Nora Szabo, defending champion, after that fall early on in the race, bounced straight back up. And what a great story to tell. With a silver lining today with 2nd place. And there, just confirmation of those 16 seconds, I should say, separating 1st and 3rd. So time check on the masses now, 1 hour 43 and 20 seconds. You can see the volunteers and medical teams do such a great job just checking on all the runners when they cross the line. And runners will do likewise for their colleagues and teammates, as the Mattoni water will be very well in hydrating them, and see a few national flags being thrown over people as well. So if you are looking for events, you are looking to get involved, the Prague Relays is a fantastic event. And again, what a wonderful city. I've been lucky enough to be course-side to commentate on the marathon previously, and it is a bucket list place to visit. And so why not get involved with the Prague Relay? Their wonderful advert for the Prague Relay as you join us back in the main city square here, the beautiful city of Olomouc in the Czech Republic. We've had a superb day of racing. Just seen the elite men, elite women with their awards. I think we've got the Czech athletes to be rewarded next with their top 3. As the reward is personal best. You can see celebrations of the runners in the background, stopping their watches. For many of these runners, chip timings, they'll be inside the 1 hour 45. That would have been an aim for many of these runners. As we can see the confirmation again of the elite men's top 10. You can see Johannes Moscherman there. Fantastic run. I think being confirmed maybe now at 63.29 and Bulovin 64.33. So a 1 minute and 4 second victory. So much greater margin of victory than the elite women. Tehoog, the athlete from the Netherlands, taking 3rd place. And you can see it was Juri Olomouc was the first of the Czech runners down in 10th place. And confirmation again of the elite women's that we just seen on the top spots of the podium. Marcel Sola, 71 minutes and 53 seconds. So much quicker, 50 plus seconds faster than 12 months ago. Szabo settling for 2nd place today. Mazarenko 3rd. And you can see first of the Czech runners home was Teresa Horashova, inside 75 minutes for the athlete that was just behind Sola in those Olympic Games. They were 24th and 25th place, so they know each other very, very well. And I'm sure they'll do battle over the marathon distance again in the future. So the upper square here, known as what I named CI, is a busy place. It's going to be, I said earlier, it was 8.5K was the beer and cheer spot on the course. I think this is another beer and cheer, but there are obviously other drinks available. And there are obviously chances to get hydrated as well. I'm sure there'll be a bottle of Mattoni natural water on every table in every restaurant. You can see the different signs in the background of the umbrellas as well. So again, it's such a natural and national drink of choice, and it's delighted to be the title supporters and sponsors of the Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc 2025. And again, you can see so many sponsors on the gantry as well, all play their part in making each and every one of these runners welcome, but also across the RunCzech series and also across the RunCzech Half Marathon series. There were just so many things to celebrate, as the Prague Relay Marathon showed in the last ad break. Back to another ad break. And there was a great advert for the last of the Euro Heroes series. So that's in September. That is the Mattoni Ulster Nad Lebrum half marathon. So these races are selling out fast. They are so popular. I think you're going to have to get your entries in super fast for any of the RunCzech events. But if not, just come out and support. Just come and drink a non-alcoholic or alcoholic drink, whatever floats your particular fancy on these evening races. That's what I love about these evening races. People get so used to very early morning starts for half marathon or marathons. Even some of the 10K distances start very early. But if you are an afternoon or evening person, then how about a 7 o'clock start and then party on into the late evening in these wonderful historic cities around the Czech Republic? Then do head on to the RunCzech website. Do download the RunCzech app and yeah, find the next race, the next opportunity to get yourselves out to be part of what is a family festival of fitness, fun and running. And it's something that there is something for everyone. And the suppliers, the supporters, the sponsors, and that's why they're so keen year on year. Remember, this year was the 30th edition of the Prague Marathon. And again, just a superb event, superbly organised by the RunCzech team. And that's why they have the World Athletics road race labels stamped on their events. And that's why, in partnership with the likes of European Athletics, with the Euro Heroes series, are just such a popular addition to the racing calendar. And it is a busy racing calendar right now. Just this evening, there is the likes of the Vienna Trap meeting going on. There's the British 10,000 meter championships in Birmingham. There's different road races going on over this weekend. There is so much going on up and down around Europe and the world. It's an exciting time to be a runner, and therefore get out of your neighborhood, get out of your local runs and reward yourself with a trip away. And why not check out the RunCzech calendar? And maybe wouldn't it be great to see you at next year's edition of the Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc? So with an hour and 51 minutes on the race clock, I think we're just making sure that we've got our top three in the Czech male and female edition home, because they usually get rewarded, usually get their spot and their moment on the podium. And you can just see people don't need their own podiums here. It's the celebration themselves of finishing. There's something about a half marathon grimace at the end. It's the having done it, the superb feeling of completing the half marathon distance, probably doubled with the pain as our pacers. There they go. They do a great job. 1 hour 50 paces. Now on chip timing, that means the map that they went over at the start would have been probably around about 3 minutes or so before they got over the start line, given the number of runners. Remember, almost 7,000 runners. So that would mean that these pacers have done an absolutely sterling job bringing our runners, our masses home. Many of them would have trained through the last months, through the start of summer. It's a hard time for them to train for a half marathon, the end of winter, start of summer, but they'll be rewarded with lifetime bests. Some of these runners finishing their first ever half marathon, and they'd be rewarded hopefully with a fantastic half marathon personal best. So some people have gravitated from the half marathon distance. So the Sakova half marathon, 5K has been the stepping stone. So many took part today. I think it was almost 1,000 runners over the 5K distance. And I know for many of them, that will give them the motivation, that will give them the extra boost to then push themselves towards maybe running the full half marathon distance next year. And who knows, they could end up on the start line of the Prague Marathon and complete the full marathon distance. So we're almost coming up to 2 hours of running here, celebrating every single runner as they cross the line. The coverage has been a fantastic opportunity to showcase the very best of European distance runners. And what a fantastic race in the men's runaway winner for Johannes Moscherman. And then in the elite women's race, a battle, 16 seconds separating the superb Maricel Sola, taking the title from Szabo and from Mazurenko. So you join us back at the Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc 2025. And we'll be heading to the podium shortly to recognise our top three in the Czech race. So here we go. We've got our men and women. So Damien Rich is running tonight in Vienna, who won the first race at Karlovy. So we wish him all the very best for the European steeplechase top 10 finisher as we go to our top three Czech athletes. And let's go to the first of the third. It's Michela Chaparova, is third place woman over the line, 78 minutes and 55 seconds. And joined by Lucas Kozora. He ran 70 minutes and 41 seconds for third place. So Peter Peček will be the runner-up in the men's, 70 minutes and 5 seconds. Second place was Michaela Brikrova in 78 minutes and 28 seconds. The women's champion, Teresa Herachova, 74 minutes and 53 seconds. Never in doubt. The Olympic 25th placer in the marathon. Fantastic running, fantastic support. And Yuri Olomouc is the men's number one today, 78 minutes and 31 seconds for 10th place overall. And he'll be delighted to be the top spot Czech athlete. And he came into the Euro Heroes series in 5th place. I think he might have jumped a couple of spots on that leaderboard as well. But that's our top 3 in the men and women's Czech challenge today. And every race in the RunCzech series is about bragging rights on the line. And they'll be rewarded with their medals. They'll be rewarded with their glass works, imagine so. And those moments, those pictures, so important also for their different sponsors as well. And Carlo Cabaldo will be delighted again, the recognition of the best Czech athletes as they continue to build those performances that have taken them to very high spots in the European Championships, in the Olympic Games. And RunCzech have been hugely influential in that, and have been superb supporters. And these opportunities for European athletes, but for Czech athletes, and the recognition financially, but also to get that pat on the back, that moment on the podium is just such a great feeling. Many miles of kilometers of miles that are running, training to get to this point. And the half marathon for these athletes will take a few days to recover from. Even these athletes, even with the super shoes and super recovery, different gels and drinks nowadays. So it takes a few days to get the energy levels back up. They all negotiated fairly warm conditions today as well. And they've done a fantastic job. So well done again to our top 3 men and women in the Czech division here at the Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc 2025. I think we have the national anthem. After the presentation of, wow, I thought they were saving the big glass trophies. So saving it for the best of Czech, and I don't blame them. So they know they've got less distance to travel and maybe less flights to try and board and to try and get that through airport security. They are very, very special trophies. Look at that. Spectacular. And again, recognition of Mattoni, the title sponsors of this fantastic running festival and fantastic series. I think they're going to get the Mattoni water out and splash a little bit on each other. There you go. Cheers or salut. Great to see. The best way to get rehydrated post half marathon. Mattoni doing such a great job. So well done. So the Mattoni Running Festival, Olomouc 2025, huge celebrations. So and the Mattoni water will be, well, let's say it will be flowing tonight with the athletes and on the tables of those out dining tonight as well.
České republiky.
Them to celebrate 1, 2, 3 men and women. Here at the Mattoni Running Festival Olomouc 2025. It's been a superb celebration there of our elites and our superb Czech athletes. And there on the left-hand side, all runners are beautiful. That is the slogan of RunCzech. And they're going to be celebrating all of the runners home as we go on into this evening. As the elite runners get to go on their cool downs, get to rehydrate, refuel. I'm sure they'll be there cheering on and cheering in. So many of the masses as well. And in celebration of what's been a superb, wonderful evening here in Olomouc, this historic city in the Czech Republic. And this event brought to you by RunCzech. So what a fantastic day, fantastic races. Johan Mosherman winning the elite men's race. A superb win. Maricel Soler finally coming out on top. The Spanish athlete, having been twice second place in the series, finally gets top spot. Nora Zabel from her fall getting up for second place. And third place, Mazarenko, a superb backing up from her run 2 weeks ago as well. Just 16 seconds separating the top 3 elite women. But it's been a fantastic day. Thank you to our sponsors, to our supporters, everyone that plays their part, all of the volunteers. Remember the next race, 20th of September, the Mattoni Usti Nad Lebram Half Marathon. My name's been James Thee. I hope you've enjoyed the coverage. I absolutely love being part of the events again. And thank you again to RunCzech. And we'll see you in September. Good luck.
Letošního olomouckého půlmaratonu Mattoni Soler